All right, we're going to do some more initial value problems, but the ones we look at here are going to be different because these give us they give us f double prime instead of giving us f prime. And the difference here is if they give us f double prime, instead of giving us one piece of information to be able to figure out what the function is, they have to give us two pieces of information. Because really what we're going to have to do is twice, we're going to have to take the antiderivative of f prime prime to get f prime. Then we'll have to take the antiderivative again to get f of x. And each time we do that, we're going to add on a constant. So we'll add a constant here, we'll call it c. We'll add another constant here, we'll probably call it d. And in order to solve for those two pieces of information, they have to give us two pieces of information. And one of two things will happen. Either it'll be like this where they give us 2 points on the original function. Notice both of these are f's. The other thing they can do is give us 1 point on the original function and the slope of the function at some point. If they do that, we're given one thing that's f, and we're given another value for f prime. So that's the main thing to look at here is whether they give you two f's or if they give you an f and an f prime for your initial value. So let's start with this example. F double prime is 6x. And they tell us f prime is at 1 is 3 and f of 2 is negative 5. So what you do here is you take the antiderivative, and that's going to give us the antiderivative of f double prime is going to be f prime. And so when we take the antiderivative of this, we get 6 times x squared over 2 plus a constant. Now let's see, what is that? 3x squared plus c. Okay, now we're going to solve for this c. When I solve for c, I get, let's see, f prime of 1. It's going to be 3 times 1 squared plus c is equal to 3. That's nice. It gives me basically c is equal to 0. So I'm going to take this and plug it back in up here now. So I've got f prime of x is 3x squared plus 0. Because I'm filling in what that c is. Now I'm not actually going to write it since it's 0. I'm going to leave it off. Now I'm going to take the antiderivative one more time. F of x, antiderivative of this, I got 3. X squared is going to give me x squared over, or I'm sorry, x cubed over 3 plus another constant. I'm going to call it d. And so this, of course, the 3's cancel. I get x cubed plus d. So now I'm going to use this other bit of information to solve for that, for d. So let's see, f of 2 is going to be 2 cubed plus d, and f of 2 is negative 5. So what I've got here is 8 plus d is negative 5, so d is going to be negative 13. So the f of x on this problem is going to be x cubed minus 13. That's it. All right, let's look at another one. On this one, we've got f double prime is equal to 3e to the x plus 5 sine x, and they've given us f prime at 0 and f at 0. All right. So first up, we'll take the antiderivative to get f prime. And when I do this, I get 3e to the x. Antiderivative of sine is negative cosine. So I'm gonna put the negative back in the front there. And then we get plus c. All right, so let's use this bit of information here. F prime of 0, that's 3e to the 0 minus 5 times cosine 0 plus c. Now, e to the 0 and cosine 0, both of those are 1. So what I get here is 3 minus 5 plus c And what's that equal to? It's equal to 2. So 3 minus 5 plus c. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So c is 4. So what I've got here is f prime of x is, basically I'm copying this over but replacing the c with 4. So I get this is equal to 3e to the x minus 5 cosine x plus 4. All right, now I've got to do the antiderivative of that to get f. So I get 3e to the x. All right, now when you take the antiderivative of cosine, you get sine, positive sine. So what that means is this doesn't change, so it remains a negative. And then the antiderivative of 4 is 4x, then plus another constant d. Now we've got to use this bit of information to solve for d. All right, f of 0, I'm going to, for the interest of space, I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. This is going to be 3 times e to the 0, so that's going to be 3. Sine of 0 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. And this is supposed to be equal to 1. So what I wind up with here is d is equal to 1 minus 3, which is negative 2. So my final answer is f of x is 3e to the x minus 5 sine x plus 4x minus 2. And that's my answer. All right, so I think I want to stop here so the videos don't get too long, and I'll pick up with these last few examples in the next video.